All right, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Check Podcast.
We back
where
again.
tea is served and checks are dispersed.
We're here to talk Love is Blind.
Not white. Yeah. What did you think about the episode, girl? Like, I was, there was so much going on.
I want to say that this is the episode that we have been anticipating. Sorry, I have to, we can chat, but yeah, this has been the episode that we all, as the audience, have been anticipating. We've been waiting for Jess to come back. We've been waiting for Sarah Ann to come back. We have been waiting for, who else? Trevor to come back. We've been waiting for these people, you know what I mean, to see their interactions and see, like, you know, what they're gonna think when, you know, when they see people, when they reveal, like, oh, how does this person look? We've been waiting for that. So I think this was in anticipation. So yeah, let's go couple by couple.
My whole question at the point, like, before we go couple by couple, was all I wanted to know is, like, is the Epi Pen going to come out? Where's the Epi Pen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was that going to come out? Are we going to see an anaphylactic reaction happen with, you know, Jimmy, like, at all? But we'll get to that. All right. So, D, who do you want to talk about first?
Just because you just mentioned his name, before we actually get into the Jess and Jimmy and Trevor and Chelsea reveal, I just need to talk about how sick and tired I am of Jimmy and Chelsea. Chelsea at this point is incredibly nauseating to me, and I know a lot of people probably are going to disagree with me because they really dislike Jimmy, but I'm so sorry. Chelsea just trying to pick fights at this point doesn't make any sense to me at all. In this past episode, 2 episodes, we saw Chelsea pick a fight because Jimmy left the house for 1 hour and came back.
I was initially thinking, I was like, there's got to be something else going on. Because, like, it cannot be that a man, she's saying, like, after meeting his family and them having a great time and all that stuff, that she's saying, I don't want to be with a man who likes to go out. And I was like, what's happening? Because are you that insecure? Like, are you that insecure about this man possibly talking to somebody else? What is so bad about him going out for an hour and coming back home? What is so bad about that?
That he was hanging out with his friends that are women that she met. Yes. And she was fine with that these friends, or one of the friends that he had slept with in the past.
That was a major point where I could understand why she was feeling so heightened about his ability to just want to go out and interact with, you know, these people. I could understand it at that particular point. And then Jimmy also does a great job of deflecting, right? Where he says, I invited you to go out. He said, you could come with me. That's not an invitation. That's a suggestion. You did not ask her. You didn't say, like, hey, baby, let's go out together. Let's come together. I want you to come with me. None of that. I could understand. Like, it was one of those questions where I was just like, okay, can a guy have close girlfriends while he is in a budding relationship with another woman who he is intimate with? And when she revealed that he had sex with one of those girls, does that change the game? Does that change the game for the friendship, for the relationship? Because the thing that Jimmy had said is, like, you have not asked me to relinquish myself of the relationship with these girls. And then when she had asked him, he's like, no, I'm not willing to. He's petty. Like, that was terrible of him to do. But the thing is, Chelsea is highly insecure. She's highly insecure. There are things that have happened in her past that are showing up in her interaction with Jimmy. One, she's not secure because she knows that Jimmy has a heart or a liking for somebody else. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, last time I said, lean in on that woman's intuition. Her intuition is telling her that this man is not for her the way that he claims to be for her. Even when he says things to her, I have a hard time believing it. I don't believe it. at all. And then for him to talk to, what's her name, Jessica, and say, you're still my number one. My number one. Hey, this man. This man.
We're like,
you are still Jimmy, my number one.
Jimmy, hell no, Jimmy.
And then go back and say, I love you, baby. Oh, I love you. And then go back and say, why would you say that that couple is the most successful couple?
Right.
Like, not at that. You went and told the girl that told you that you're going to choke when you see me.
He did choke.
And he choked.
He choked for sure.
He was like looking at her left and right. He said, you are still at the end of the day my number one. How dare he?
I don't know if he said you're still. I think he said you were my number one.
I don't know if it was a were, but it definitely sounded like it was a present tense statement. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, but Chelsea has issues. Chelsea has complete issues, and I hate her baby voice. I just hate voice so much. But she has issues. All right, go ahead, T.
No. You're not wrong, because like Chelsea really gets on my nerves, and I'm trying to give Grant grace, because I know Chelsea has since expressed that she all her life has experienced emotions in a heightened state. When she's happy, you can hear she's like, you saw when during the reel, she's jumping all over the place, right? When she's sad, she's really sad. I don't know if they're eating her alive or her past experiences are eating her alive, because she's saying things that are not actually happening. Now, the question regarding whether or not a man or a person can be friends with a person, like their past relations, I think that it's a little bit of a tough one. It's a tough one because I can say that there are people in my past that I am fine with today. Now, they cannot cross certain lines and cross certain boundaries, and they cannot be at a certain place in my life. So the closeness that Jimmy has with some of these women doesn't really make much sense to me, because can't be my man. But I guess what I'm not understanding is why is Chelsea choosing this fight to set that boundary? If that is her boundary, why is she using this moment to set that boundary? And why did she appear and pretend as if it was okay during their meeting time when they met?
Right.
I can understand where Jimmy kind of felt a little bit violated, because it seems as though this was off-camera information.
And she brought it on camera.
She blindsided him.
Yeah, she blindsided him with that.
And it seems like that is a common theme, where she blindsides him with information on camera. Off-camera information on camera. And he even said it, you crossed a boundary.
I loved that line, honestly. That was a great...
it was, because she did cross a boundary.
That was a great line. You did. She did cross a boundary.
And I think that she very often crosses emotional boundaries. And it seems a little bit manipulative in a way, where when she's not getting her way, she cries her way out and victimizes herself.
She is the victim in every scenario.
Yeah, I see that.
Interactions.
And it's highly frustrating.
It is.
Ooh, Jinx, you owe me a soda. No, but yeah, it's very, very frustrating to watch. Yeah. And it's exhausting to watch. Like, when I see this fight, I'm like, this is not a fight that actually needed to happen.
No.
And it just so happens now, because she revealed that this is a person that he had sexual relations with. Now Jimmy is going to be, it changes the narrative for the audience. And she knew it would. Mm-hmm. So she weaponized that in that moment. And because she knew it would win her favor.
I definitely agree with that. Absolutely. That she definitely utilized it as a weapon, and she blindsided him. And you could see the immediate reaction in his face when she had said that. He was like wait. And then proceeds from there on to, after she sees his reaction, she goes into baby mode. Like, oh, how can you say that we're not going to work, or you're not going to try, and all of that stuff. It's very, if you're a person who started dating or newly dating and became manipulative in your dating experience, this is what you do, right? This is exactly what you do. You cause an issue, you stir up a fight, and then all of a sudden you beckon for the person to come back. You're don't leave me. You can't leave me. You should not leave me.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what Chelsea continues to do. She placates that in the relationship over and over and over again. And I personally am like, you're 30 years old, ma'am. You've been married before, ma'am. Speak as somebody who has been married before. Speak as somebody who has the vocabulary to evoke what it is that you are not liking about what your man is doing. But then also, it doesn't help matters that she was drunk. Right?
It doesn't. I think that's what caused this situation.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's what caused it. And I don't think that it was actually, no, let me not say it was definitely petty of him when she's like, okay, well, I'm uncomfortable. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not changing. Right.
It was very
petty. At the same time, it's so funny because I actually probably would do the same exact thing.
Like you would respond the way that he responded?
I probably would. Not even gonna lie to you. Because I think I felt that. I think his frustration was that you are choosing this moment to try to set your boundary, knowing that you are inebriated, knowing that you are not fully cognizant, and you know you've already met with these women, so you've already set a path of having me believe that you are okay with these women being around, being that these are my close friends. I feel like he's under the impression where she believes that she is okay. And then all of a sudden, for her to, on camera, reveal that she's not okay and switch it up on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would be one thing if she didn't switch it up on him off camera, but then like on, because a lot of the time when I'm watching this, I'm like, there's got to be so much more context that I'm missing about certain things that are happening, right? So I wish I could get a bird's eye view to what's going on before all these interactions happen. But listen, it's something that happens to many girls out there, right? You may be with a man. The man reveals to you, hey, I have a very close friend. She and I have been intimate before, whatever. Even if they weren't intimate before, but you have a close female friend, me as your partner, right? I, as a woman, I understand women, right? I understand what they could desire and want out of a man that's in their life. The security that I would need is for you to allow me the space and the time to meet them, right? I meet them so I can make my own assessment, right, of how this person may feel towards you. Diana, are you with me? You with me here?
I'm with you because he did that, though.
No, yeah. And I'm saying, he did that. However, what Chelsea is battling, and I can understand, is she's like, Chelsea is an insecure person who wants to play as if she is secure, right? She's so insecure with whatever it is going on. She's cosplaying as a secure person. So that's funny. So she has to pretend like she's okay with meeting these girls, and I'm okay with it. But inside, it's brewing that she's like, I am uncomfortable with this. And again, I'm leaning in on the woman's intuition. And I know Chelsea has it. Jimmy doesn't like you.
Jimmy does not like her.
Does not like you. So,
no.
How does it feel for a person to be with somebody that you got down on your knee to propose to me? You actually really don't like me, and I really like you, but I'm also very childish, in my ways. It's just a recipe for disaster.
And I think that's what Chelsea needs to be real with herself about, is the fact that what she's maybe living out her worst nightmare, where she may be more in love with him than he is with her.
Ding, ding, ding.
Not that he actually likes anybody else or is attracted to anybody else. Jimmy could probably like nothing but the wall or a stick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But for the simple fact that she has caught herself in a situation where he may not have the level or the magnitude of feelings for her that she may have for him, she is going to concoct these stories and cause these fights between the two of them to make it seem as if he is the villain and that he is doing something to her when in fact he's not doing anything. That's why I think that Chelsea is the one that's the problem.
Yes. I will not disagree with you that Chelsea is the one that is the problem, but
Jimmy's not an angel.
Is also an added problem.
He's not an angel. I don't think he's so much of a problem as much as Chelsea is.
Yeah. Chelsea Chelsea got issues, baby girl. Like you got issues, and I hope that you find a way to deal with them. Because, girl, like you can't be doing that. But I mean, I understand. I wouldn't be comfortable with my man being friends with somebody he has sex with.
And I would agree with you.
I'm not.
I would totally agree with you if she had mentioned that. If this were an ongoing conversation where she said, I'm uncomfortable, but you can't pretend as if you are okay.
I'm uncomfortable.
Sorry. But you feel me? Like, you can't pretend like you're okay. Everything's good. You meet with them and you say how much you actually love them.
Love them. You guys are my girls. They're my
Y'all are my girls. What type of cosplaying is that?
It's really weird.
At the same time, I think
no, but it's
a
really
certain group of women are used to cosplaying. But anyways, sorry,
it couldn't be me, baby. I'd be like, oh, really?
I'm a Dr. Umar stan. Every time I think of that, I just think of Dr. Umar. Anyways,
oh my God,
we should call him Reverend at this point.
I want him on the podcast. I really want him on the podcast. There would be so
Mayor,
much. Dr. Umar, please come through.
Reach out to him. You should reach out.
Yeah.
He's probably not even on social media.
No, probably not.
If it's
Well, I mean, with the amount of videos he's posting, he has to.
If it's
be
created
on
by
social
white
media,
people, I don't know that he's actually on social media.
Anyway,
yo, Dr. Umar, I love him. Anyways, yeah, girl, I can't with Chelsea. But then Jimmy met up with Jess, and same energy that she was given when she met up with Laura. She seemed a bit more subdued and more in support of Chelsea.
Because her butterflies, she was the one who needed the Epi Pen, apparently. Like, because her butterflies and her stomach were just going. Like,
I need her to stop.
I don't like what she's doing. I don't like what she's doing, because one thing that she's doing is she's utilizing her sexuality, and she's utilizing her attractiveness.
She's hypersexualizing herself.
She's hypersexualizing herself in front of this man. She knows you're gonna like me. You're gonna like what I look like and all that stuff. And apparently this is a type that he actually normally goes for, right? So she's utilizing that, but then at the same time, she's trying to get him to affirm his feelings for her, right? And then also at the same time saying, like, but I want you to treat Chelsea well, and I'm really happy for you guys. She is playing games and she's playing with fire, but the thing about her that I noticed is that she's not willing to go far enough to get Jimmy to do the opposite of what he has trained himself for this show to not do. Jimmy is trained himself to say, I chose Chelsea. I'm going to stick out this choice as much as I don't want to. And Jessica is not giving him enough. She's not dangling enough in front of him for him to run and grab it. Because I think Jimmy in real life, without the cameras, absolutely.
I don't know. There's something about his family that tells me otherwise.
What about his family?
I don't know what it is. But there's something about his family that makes me think that he is a one-woman show. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way that his mom hugged him.
His family was interesting. Yeah,
they're very
interesting.
Yeah, I think definitely. Something about his family that just, I think maybe, did he mention how long his parents were together? They seem like a very tight-knit family.
40 years, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. So if he's used to seeing long-term relationships, right, other than, like, Mr. Clay over there, well, his parents were together for 20-something years.
24.
But either way, I think that with Jimmy, he's used to he seems to want what his parents have. There's something, he holds his parents to a very high regard. Mind you, again, we're in North Carolina, right? So we're down south where they have, you know, a more conventional or traditional way of referring to elders, right? So he seems to want what his parents have. Now, Jimmy, if you notice, he continues to say he is ready for a relationship. He has never said he's ready for a marriage and ready for a wife. So I don't think that Jimmy is here to find his wife. I think that Jimmy is here to find his relationship that will lead to, at some point, a marriage. To emulate what his parents have.
That's
because
a very good point.
Jimmy's also 27.
That's what I saw. When they said 27, I said, him and Clay are the same age. Okay. Yeah, 27.
Thank you.
27. So, he's not ready.
I rest my case on Jimmy. Yeah, I don't think he's ready either.
He's not ready. We know the next episode they're not going to make it to the altar. So I'm not even going to, we're not going to waste. Girl, they're not going. The only people that made it to the altar are going to be Clay and
Wait, stop. Wait. Did you look things? Did you Google?
Did I do too much? Okay.
Did you Google things?
I plead the fifth. How about
Please keep this in. All right, cool. Moving on. Who else we got? Before we get to Laura and them, let me just say that Desiree, I want to yoke her up so badly and wake her up. Because I don't know what days she is caught in. I actually think that she's probably more here for the cameras than anybody else is. Because I'm not understanding how Clay is blatantly telling you. At this point, it's just like, just say I'm going to cheat on you. Just say it. Just say it. I'm going to cheat on you. I don't actually like you like that. Just say it at this point. Because what are we actually like? You're bearing the burden of your parents for what? For what? And I know this is probably a little bit different than what I was saying last week, but I am tapped out. Sorry.
Because you're tipsy.
I'm tapped out, bro. Like, what exactly are you so afraid of? Okay, we get it. You said it the first few episodes. You don't feel like, you have seen a successful relationship. I completely understand that. I hear that and I see. I don't understand that. But, like, I see that. Like, you are trying. You have now said that you believe that you should be in therapy. So what you still doing here, bro? But Amber, you are sending me through the roof because you're like, it's okay, baby, I'm here for you. Shut up.
Fix the host. She's Bob the Builder.
Bob
the Builder.
Shut up.
Can we fix it?
You're a weirdo.
Fix it.
Shut up. Not it can fix it. Shut up and go home.
Yes, we can. Like,
Amber, you do not deserve to be here.
Oh my God.
You need to go and sit down.
Let me pull my notes up because I was having a day. Let me see. Where is it? Okay. So the thing, like one of the things I wrote, I said, AD's mom says, my daughter, she said that she can follow him. I can follow you. AD says, I can follow him. In my notes, I said, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jehovah.
I said, where?
No, can you riddle me that though? And I think Clay likes hearing that. Like, he's just like, yeah, you can follow me and I'll lead. And wait, hold on. She wrote something about that too.
You did? What'd you write?
Clay said, and I quote, relationships are not something that I am good at leading. And then what's her name? AD said, I will follow you.
Follow him. I will follow.
And I'm like, what actual level and type of toxicity is this one? Like, are they acting?
This is where I knew she's got to be delusional. Because one, I was like, why are you crying? I said, why is she crying? And then she said, like, he's got some substance. You see what I mean?
Shut up.
Do you see what I mean?
Oh, please shut up.
Oh my God. And she said, I will follow that man off a cliff without a parachute. I said,
you know what? At this point, you should go. Actually, you should grab the cliff. Don't even take a harness with you. There's no need to waste one. There's no need to waste.
Because that man is going to catch me. He's telling you that he's not going to catch you. He is telling you that he is not ready to be married. He is telling you that he is literally going to cheat on you. He is telling you that he doesn't know what it means to be in a secure relationship with anybody. He is telling you, my businesses matter more than you. I'm not making time for you because I do not like you, right? But here she goes and she wants to be with this man. Why? She's okay. She and Chelsea are kind of one and the same. Toxic, insecure, probably somewhere. This is one of the things I want to say, and it's the video I'm going to make. Is I want to just give a big hand of applause to all of the women that are so secure in who they are and what they want. Let's start first with what's her name, the one that was caught in the love triangle with AD and the white guy,
Amber.
Well.
Allegedly, she had a man.
All of these people. Okay. Anyway, but that aside, okay. I'm gonna take Laura for example. Laura gave me all of the feels, because she was just like, the moment she caught that man in that lie, she said, I want out. And she just left. She's like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with it anymore. Because she's introspective enough to read between the lines and to understand what a person is doing to her, that she says, I am not willing to accept. That is not going to happen. But AD is crying over a man who has told you time without end, that he is not the man for you. That he is not going to be the person that is going to catch you when you fall off that cliff that you want to follow him through. Huh? He is not going to do that. But here she is, crying. Why?
Make sure you put subtitles.
Like, why?
Make sure you put subtitles.
Oh my God. Like, are you insane? And the thing she's talking about is, you see how good he looks?
I know. Pull off the wig. It makes you want to pull your wig off.
Like, legit. Like,
listen,
girl. I like,
it just makes me
she said, I will follow that man off a cliff.
Like, is it that you have no shame? No, you must not have shame.
Off a cliff?
You know what it makes me think of? In the first few episodes, literally, she was like, Clay yelled at her for the whole her and Matthew situation. She cried and apologized to him. And then she came out of that pod and was just like, my man. I think we need to shut down this podcast.
My man.
She said, my man. Like, my man. And I'm like, Jesus. Oh, which useless man are you? What?
Yeah, no, look, even when they were sitting down with Clay's mom and sister, who, by the way, they're both beautiful women. AD's like, I'm cold. And Clay is like, oh, you cold? He's like, oh, yeah, cool. Like, you know?
Just dumb.
Like, it's just like, wait. He says, you cold? And she says, yes. And he says, ooh.
And then the mom gave the scarf.
He has to give the scarf and I was like,
no shame on national TV. You that's forming on this TV, you have no shame whatsoever. You're not even ashamed of yourself.
My head hurts. Anyways. My head hurts because...
Girl, the part that got me was Clay literally saying to Amber, you're going to help me to be a good husband. And I'm like, this is the issue. I don't even like, at this point, I can't even with Clay, right? Like, what it is what it is. Amber, the fact that he's literally putting the responsibility of being a good spouse on you, and you're willing to accept it and allow him to lead you. So who's there for her?
No one. She thinks he's going to be there for her at the end of that cliff catching her.
That's what she thinks. She's like, yeah, right now you need me more than I need you. So, you'll do the same for me. And he's like, I think that he's going to say no at the altar.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course. And also Amber Desiree's mom. I liked the mom, but she did something where it was similar to what you said last time. Like, Clay is doing the work. He's trying to find himself. He's not supposed to be on this show, first of all. Like, it should not be. But when the mom realized that, I think she should have said, yeah, baby girl, no, this is not the one for you. Like, no. This is, no. As a mom, I would be like, that's not happening. Because the one thing that we are not going to do is we're not going to go into a relationship with somebody who is a complete work in progress. Like, he's completely, from A to Z, a work in progress. There's not even an in-between where we've seen him actively, engage these parts of himself to, like, better himself. He's continuing to put, like you said, the responsibility on AD to make this relationship what it is and all of that stuff. And then also, like, saying, like, I've never heard these things before, from anybody telling me what the mom was telling to him about, him not relying so much on the devastation of his parents' relationship and things like that. I'm like, bruh, like, you're 27, like, you're pushing an age where, you have to already start, like, thinking about these things and actively making decisions to change the trajectory that you're going in. But anyway, all in all to say, I just wish
think that he's ready.
He's not ready. I don't think that AD. But the one thing I will also say is this, Diana. Like, a lot of people don't pay attention. If people are so dumb to not pay attention to the words that somebody says, please pay attention to their body language.
You're right.
Pay attention to their body language. Do you see the body language that man is evoking? Do you see the body language between the two of them?
He is completely closed off to her.
Closed off. Just they couldn't be as separate as they're just so separate. Like, you know, and she is trying to go all in for this man. And this is what I'm going to tell everybody, every woman. We are supposed to I'm a Christian. We are Christians. The word of God tells us, even in our friendships and our relationships with people, iron sharpeneth iron.
Iron. Come on.
You
Confess your
cannot
sins one to another, brother.
You cannot be wood with somebody who's sharp as an iron, because you're going to chop that person in pieces.
They're completely unequally yoked.
Unequally yoked in every which way, shape, and form.
And especially, you can tell, too, even when it comes to his work, he's unwilling to make time for her. And she's also unwilling to extend understanding regarding his work. With the way that he works, he does not feel that he is also, I think, stable in his position with work. And I was surprised to hear that he actually has Airbnb, so we know that he's investing, right?
I mean, his house alone. That was nice. Yeah,
absolutely. So he appears to be smart with money, but he doesn't feel satisfied, which is why he feels like he has to continue to work, right?
Absolutely. Go get
and there's
your
a disconnect.
On.
I'm sorry?
I said, yeah, he should get his hustle on.
Yeah. So there's a disconnect there because she's unwilling to extend understanding. However, he doesn't feel stable in that, which is why he feels like he has to just be on go. Because if he did feel stable, he'd take a back seat and be like, all right, let me focus on you, right? So he's not ready to be there. He's not ready to be there emotionally. He's not ready to be there mentally. He isn't like her, and that's just that.
Yeah.
That is just that, excuse me.
Yeah, that...
What are words?
I wish him the best, and I need him to never come back on television again.
Please go into therapy, please.
Go straight into therapy immediately. And also, if therapy doesn't work, Jesus is always the answer. Jesus is always the answer. The Lord can patch up all of these misgivings and all these things that is going on in your spirit and your soul. And the thing, I'll say this, D. What did I write? What did I write? Hold on. I wrote something. Sorry, guys. We are writers here. Okay. I said, the man is fighting his demons, and AD needs to recognize that and run, right? Whatever he was saying to AD at the dinner table or the kitchen table I was like, the man actively is saying that he has demons.
He legit said to her, relationships are something I'm not good at leading. Like, this is a quote. And she said, it's okay. Right now you need me, and then I will need you. And he's not going to be there.
Let's move on.
Beautiful. Wish you all the best. All right, Jeremy and Laura. So we have since found out that the location that Jeremy thought that Laura was not checking, Laura was actually checking, child. And Laura checked this location at 5 a.m. in the morning. She probably was pretend sleep when he came home. Laura just got a little bit of me in her because she was checking that thing. I would have screenshotted it, I would have videoed it, and I would have sent it right to you. Be like, listen, see this location that you're at? Stay there. Don't come back to this house. I will finish you if you come back to this house. Anyways, so Child and Sarah Ann popped up, and she revealed that Jeremy said that the relationship between he and Laura is over anyways. Whew. She got into an argument with AD. Oh, not an argument. Not Laura. Sarah Ann thinks she got into an argument with AD over this. AD was just like, baby girl, you're not effing my man, so whatever. I don't really care what you have to say or what you think.
I also really didn't like that response because AD was looking for an issue. Because AD obviously was
Jesus, I think you really don't like her.
No. It's not that. AD was fighting on behalf of Sarah, who's her friend. That's why she was interrogating... Or Laura, excuse me. That's why she was interrogating Sarah. I mean, just own up to it. Be like, listen, I don't have a problem with you, but I'm just letting you know that I ride for my girl Laura, and I'm just letting you know that you are acting crazy. So when she said like, oh, well, you're not effing my man, I don't like, that's not a good retort. That's not, because you know what? You do care. You care about what she is doing and what she did to the relationship of somebody else that you cared about. Just say that. That's it. Because then why are you asking these questions to me if you don't care because you're not effing my man?
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I didn't get that initial vibe when I was watching the conversation because it kind of felt like these women were all in the pods together, and it seemed as though AD and Sarah had a pre-existing relationship prior to this happening. So it seemed as though AD felt comfortable enough to talk to Sarah to get her to understand the error in her ways. Because if you are on the show and you know this man is engaged, why are you DMing him and saying, hopefully you get a chance to see and talk, and if you change your mind or whatever, I'm still available or whatever nonsense. That's one. And then you proceed to talk with this man all through the night. Now, I'm not fully blaming Sarah. I will get to Jeremy in a second. But I'm just like, I'm trying to think through like the conversation between her and AD, right? You sit and you talk with this man throughout the entire night. He drops you off at night, and we're supposed to believe that you guys did not have sex. And you also believe that there's nothing wrong in any of these actions. You can't actually believe that nothing's wrong, right? So Sarah's now getting defensive over trying to understand what is going on here. What were your intentions? Which I appreciate her asking the intentions as opposed to just going ahead to accuse her of Lord knows what. You know what I mean? She's giving Sarah an opportunity to get herself out of whatever mess that she is in. And Sarah takes offense to that and gets defensive. Now that's where I'm like, you're getting defensive over apparently you guys did not have sex? How am I supposed to believe that with the way that you are reacting to this? If that's the case, for AD, it's just like, just so you know, I would probably say the same thing. What you're saying does not actually matter to me because it's not my man, but I'm trying to figure out what is going on here and what did you guys actually do?
No, then I would say then you need to not try to figure anything out, because if you don't care that it's not your man that I'm effing, you don't need to be asking me no questions.
At the same time, it's also reality TV, so
I know, I agree, but like let's just say in real life though, like then don't. This is the reason I don't like that retort is because that retort is actually inaccurate based on the line of questioning that she was giving Sarah Ann. You care, right? And you are also trying to let Sarah Ann know that you are acting crazy up in this B. Like what you did is crazy. From the point where she's telling Sarah Ann, like, I don't have an opinion. I haven't shared my opinion yet. Yes, you have. Because you called her crazy. You called her, this is wild. That is an opinion that you have based on what you've seen.
Before Sarah Ann said that you shared your opinion, because AD was right. She had it.
But it did.
AD was right. She hadn't actually shared an opinion based on what I saw.
Well, based on what I was deducing from what was going on, AD had an opinion already. She shared it. If you're questioning the line of questioning, and also she continued to let Sarah know you look crazy doing what you did. Why would you text this man? No. I'm not saying that it does not. What I am saying is that she has, by the nature of the line of questioning and by the nature of the things that she said in response to whatever Sarah gives back to her, she shared her opinion. She's sharing her opinion, and that is where I could understand Sarah going and saying like, "Oh, I've never had an issue with you. I like you and all that stuff." I could get the defensiveness. I can understand it, because guess what? Somebody is interrogating you about something that you're doing. I can understand that.
Can I have you consider a different perspective?
Which is
for AD, her saying, you're not effing my man, so this doesn't actually matter to me. I don't believe that she's saying that this entire situation that I actually don't care about, right? For me, it felt like the intention was to get Sarah to realize the error in her ways and also figure out, what is this story actually like? What's going on? What motivated you to feel comfortable enough to actually like go forward with sending a DM and meeting up with Jeremy and whatever the case is? And it felt like when she said that, Sarah had already reached a point where she was getting defensive and she was expressing a lot of passive aggressiveness. So it seemed like for AD, when she said, you're not effing my man, it was just like, just so you know, this actually doesn't concern me because it doesn't really have anything to actually do with me. But I'm trying to figure out at what point did you feel comfortable enough to continue to go forward?
I get that. I have no issue. Listen, if this was happening to one of my friends, I would have probably done the same thing AD did, which is go to the girl and say, why did you do that? And what is going on? But by me going to you and asking you those questions, you already know where I stand. That the cure ED, you know where I stand, and that's it. You know that I stand with my friend. I stand with what is right. I do not stand with the way that you are moving. The way Sarah Ann moved was not correct. Let's just make that clear. So I understand that perspective that you're bringing about if I'm looking at it in that way. But what I'm saying is mean what you say and say what you mean, right? I don't like, because then when you say that statement that because it's not impacting my life, I don't care. So then if you don't care, stop talking to me. Like that's that's what I'm saying.
But I don't know that is that those two things are necessarily synonymous. Like I don't think that not talking about something means that you do not care. I think that she is allowed to question a situation and question the intentions of people. At the same time, she may not actually really care, may not actually mean anything to her because it's not Clay.
Okay, but if you don't care, babe, if you don't care, I'm not going to talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying, that I don't know that that's not, like, I think that that's the standard that, like, maybe we have set for ourselves, right? That if we don't care about a thing, we're not going to talk about it. But it doesn't seem that way in this situation. I'm just trying to get away from the mindset that in order to, that the ideal action to display when someone does not care about something is to actually not talk about a thing. I think that it's very much possible that she may not be able to care, and at the same time she is trying to figure out what is going on here and what did you do, not for herself because it doesn't impact her, but maybe for her friend Sarah. Yeah, she did take a position.
Yeah, she did.
She did take a position.
She did.
Her
She
friend
took a
Sarah's
position. And that is okay, and that is all well and good. Now, I per se do not think that Sarah was being as passive aggressive as you're saying. I think Sarah tried and did a good job of tried to answer whatever the questions were that AD was asking her.
Maybe I'm a little biased because I know that Sarah's a part of 55. So maybe I'm a little biased.
Maybe I didn't even know she was part of 55, but she was. I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know. I didn't know Sarah Ann was. Isn't she? Whatever. Anyway, who cares? So she did it. I think she did a particularly good job. Now, the thing is this, Jeremy.
Ooh, child, Jeremy is a mess.
What a buffoon. I was like, what?
He's such a mess.
Honestly, him and Sarah Ann deserve each other. They're the type of people that it works for both of them and their temperaments and, their rationales. Jeremy changed his story, or at least from what the cuts were showing. All I did was talk to her. I was at, where was it called? In-N-Out Burger, wherever the hell he was. I don't know. I was at this lot. We were just outside in the parking lot talking. And then when Jeremy goes and talks to his mom, he tells his mom, yeah, I talked to the girl. I drove her home and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, so what Laura said about you not being at that particular venue was true, right? So I loved his mom. His mom said, you lucky that it wasn't me.
Thank you.
You lucky that it wasn't me. Because
I literally wrote that down.
Hold on. Because I said, you better tell
your son. And it's just
like,
you expect us to believe that you guys did not sleep together? Please go and sit down.
Exactly.
Go and sit down.
He explains the situation to his mom. He drove the girl home to her place. Nothing happened. Whenever somebody says nothing happened,
goodbye. Go and sit down.
Mom says, you're lucky it wasn't me. I would have been up waiting for you. And I was like, I said, that's right.
Thank you.
I would have been up. I would have been at the door.
What are we actually talking about here?
Nothing happened.
You stayed up till 5 a.m. in the morning talking to a certain person. Jeremy is not that much of a talker to me, that he's going to stay up from 11 p.m. at night till 5 a.m. in the morning just
driving
talking.
The girl home. And
go and sit
Sarah
down.
Ann saying like, oh, I went into my house. I didn't let him in and da-da-da, all that stuff.
Please.
It could be very well and good that they didn't do anything. Maybe they kissed each other.
Oh,
maybe they did something or whatever. It could be very well and good that they didn't do anything.
In the midst of that conversation, he just so happened to tell you he made a mistake and you were the one that everything is broken off.
We need to bring back shame. We need to bring back shame. You know why? Because if something did happen between them, the fact that these two people still went into the lake and jet skied with each other.
You know what I mean? to show off like, yeah, we're fine, we're cool, we don't care about your feelings. Jeremy.
Oh my God, Jeremy, you are part of the scum of the earth. Like, you are part of the scum of the earth.
Seats.
Because for anybody who's in a relationship, you know, we make our mistakes. Yes, and yes, we do. But you have to learn in this situation. For you to be in a, and mind you, Jeremy was engaged prior to coming on this show. So it's not as if he doesn't understand, or I hope that he did. It's not like he doesn't understand what it means to be committed to a person. But apparently he doesn't. You know why? Because why would you say he lost me when he said this girl DM'd him? And she DM'd you, and what you did was you double tapped it and you clicked a heart sign on it. And if you didn't mean a heart and you could have given a thumbs up, you could have given a thumbs up. Or, like Laura said, you say nothing. Because the moment that you responded to that DM, you created the avenue for this girl to inch her way in to the relationship that you have between you and Laura. And number two, the men tell you, hey, by the way, Sarah Ann is where we're at right now. And then you had a thought in your mind to say, you know what, I'm probably going to go home. But instead, you allowed the devil on your shoulder to tell you, you know what, you should not allow a person to dictate where you're going to go. So you went to the place where you had an interaction with your ex, whom in the pods, you and her were talking about whole lot of sexual,
that you allow the devil
sexual
to
things. Sexual things. Nothing good happens after midnight. Don't you ever. Laura told you from point A to point B what you should have done. Yep. And you did not do it. So he you know why? He created an avenue. You know why? Because if you were comfortable with the person that you're with, and if you wanted to be committed in the relationship, just like how Sarah Ann said, like, if somebody makes you feel this way, then you're in the wrong relationship. She was right. Because if you're comfortable in it, you would respect yourself and you would respect your partner enough to say, I am not even going to give this any time of day, like at all. But you know what? Him and Sarah Ann have a sexual history with each other, a passionate one. We saw it in the pods. He couldn't resist it. And if they did have sex, just own up to it, y'all, because, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Just tell it. If you kissed, just tell it, you know? But he lied to Sarah Ann, lied to Laura, lied to his mama, and his mama read right through him. Thank you, mama, for literally,
oh my goodness, so good to watch,
letting us know that your son is an imperfect person. And you told him, as any other woman would do, I would have kicked, I don't curse, but I would have kicked your I would have been up there waiting for you. And you know, North Carolina in the South, if it was Texas, that girl would have been waiting with a gun in her hand.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying.
She would have lost her damn ass. I'm going crazy in that ass.
So you thought, Jeremy,
go and sit down.
Throw you away.
So all I have to say for Jeremy is, please go and sit down. Go and sit down and have several seats.
I'm telling you.
All the seats, because you are absolutely wild. The fact that you are literally trying to turn the situation around to make it seem like you are the favorable one, please go and sit down. Just before I even open my eyes and blink them twice, go and sit down. He is not serious. He is garbage. And I'm done. Yeah. There's nothing I have to say about Jeremy.
Thank you.
Done.
All right, moving on. Are those the only ones?
Those are all the couples that we right?
That have issues.
Oh, no. Yeah, that have issues. Johnny and I found her name out. Johnny and Amy, they have since, I know that the last episodes we saw that they probably didn't know what a vasectomy was, and really not birth control. Yeah, because they thought like he should go and get a vasectomy. So Johnny finally figured out. He went to go and research that vasectomy is more permanent than he thinks. So he's like, I don't know about all that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so like, how do people?
Anyways, yeah. So they're still talking about. I like them as a couple because they seem so like they work. I would just say that they work.
They do work.
They are compatible. Like even things as simple as like for her, she's like, oh, that in my culture we hyphenate. We hyphenate our names. Do you have any issues with that? And he's like, do what you want as long as my kids get to have my last name. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Like I could tell you so many relationships where that would be a full-on argument and a full-on problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like for them, it's something as seamless as like, yeah, sure, go for it. You know, so I like them together.
Yeah.
No qualms about them. Both parents approve. Her mom is like in love and so choked up about the fact that she is getting married. And there's something about her meeting her dad, and her dad meeting him that made me really tear up. There's something about it because I don't know if you remember in the pod, she told a story about how her father used to like, she was like depressed as a child, and her father used to invite like church people to just come and celebrate her birthday.
Yeah.
So meeting her father and seeing her father give his blessing, even now it's getting me emotional a little bit.
It should. Let it out, baby girl.
It was really sweet
out.
to see, and I don't know. I just really appreciated that, and
I know.
I wish them the best. I like Amy. I like Johnny. Obviously, you always have your couple that's gonna make it.
I know, and they, like, everybody who's around them, they're all saying this feels right. Yeah. It just feels right, and I could not agree more. It feels, and it is right, absolutely right. The dad, like you said, when he held his daughter's hand, and he says, "I want to bless you," I said, "Oh!"
And they cut it out. They cut out the prayer.
I know, because they don't like Jesus up in here. But I will proclaim the name of the Lord Most High, because in this house we serve the Lord.
We shall serve
don't
the
play
Lord.
Me.
You
don't
better
play me. Don't come to me with any of that
At the
BS.
mention of that name, what happens?
Every knee must bow,
and every
tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is the Lord.
You better speak. Come on.
Anyway,
I was really looking forward to that, and they edited that right out, and I'm like,
that was so bad. They don't like Jesus.
My spirit, I know that there was a prayer that happened there. There's no amount of editing that you can tell me. You can tell me that happened that I will never know that there was a prayer there. Okay.
Don't make me speak in tongues.
Listen.
Jesus Christ.
But I could discern the dad's spirit.
Oh, of course. That man is so gentle. I love him. I was like, why did the mom and you not work? Are they divorced or are they together?
I think they're together.
They're together? Okay, sorry. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but he was a beautiful man. And that is, and I wrote in my notes, I said, that is a dad.
Yeah.
That is a dad. That is a dad. And you can always, like how they say if a preacher is preaching, look at his wife. Because it can tell you a lot about what's going on in their household. When look at the children when you see a father, right? Look at the children. And the way this little girl, not little girl, she went into her little girl mode with her dad there.
Yeah.
But she's safe in his arms.
Oh, she really is.
She's so safe.
And she feels safe in Johnny's arms. The same way. I just really like Amy.
I know. She's a sweetheart.
Really like her.
She is.
And
we need her on the podcast.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need her to come.
Oh, I literally can see myself being friends with her in real life.
Yeah.
You know,
I would agree.
Her and them crystals cannot.
What crystals?
Oh, she's a crystal.
Oh, she's like, sorry, we don't do no manifesting up in this house. Sorry. I'm just letting it be known. I'm sorry. We just don't do manifesting crystals, energies. I beg. Oh, no. Not for me.
I can't.
Not for me.
She said, oh, she likes crystals. Yeah, she said, what do you call them? Crystallites? Crystally? I don't know what you call them, but yeah, she likes crystals. But anyways, either way, I think she's a great person. She seems like a great person. She seems like a really nice person and a really sweet person. And I would love to know her. So yeah, we'll do the work. We'll see if we can get her on.
I would love a lot of people to actually come on this season, more than I did last season.
Mayor.
I'm just saying.
We have friends from last season.
I'm not talking about them.
I would actually like for them to come on to give us their...
I'm not talking about our friends.
Apparently Kim K. Did you hear that? Kim K really likes this season.
Who cares about her opinion?
I know.
Honestly, we give too much credence to certain people, and I'm sorry.
Who's we? They. I do not support the Kardashian ministry. Y'all should know that about me. At all. Please.
Yeah, man. That's wild. Okay. All right. So that
Again,
does
I'm a Dr. Umar stan.
I love Dr. Umar myself. he is a wild man. Like, I totally appreciate his perspective. Like, honestly, if you don't understand him, you need to go read a couple of books, so you can understand where he's coming from. I completely understand where he's coming from.
White Rage. Thanks.
Woo!
All right. All right. So, thank you all so much for listening. This was a time.
Yes, it
an
was.
enjoyable time. We really hope that as you have listened to this, that your drink has finished, mine is almost finished, or
Mine
that
is
your
done.
cup runneth over.
Yes. I will say a prayer for you guys. Done.
So thank you all so much for listening. Please, 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 on whatever platform that you are listening to this on, please like, share, subscribe, rate, and do all of the things. Promote us, please. If you are new here, thank you for joining the family. We love you. We cannot wait to our next episode. And thank you all so much for listening. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace out.